Hello, my people of YouTube. A long time no talk. And yeah, before we start this video on a serious topic, let's just take like a moment of silence. And now we can actually proceed and talk about today's subject matter. Now, if you guys aren't on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, apparently today an activist by the name of Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. Now, to be fair, I've never really consumed this person's media, whatever he puts out there. But from what I hear, he is a conservative. Some would call him right-wing extremist, Nazi, whatever. What's unfortunate is that he was doing a Q&A at a campus, Utah, I believe, and he unfortunately got assassinated by the perpetrator. I think at this moment, from me going through social media, I think there's like 3 suspects that probably did it. We don't have the actual confirmation of who did it. I could be wrong. I could have not done enough digging, but there are 3 people that are supposedly at fault for this crime. This is very unfortunate that this happened. Unfortunate in the fact that he was practicing freedom of speech. He was giving whatever message he had to give out. And now this is going to be used as propaganda to promote and incentivize more violence. Like, we need that in this country of the USA, considering, you know, our sitting president wants to send troops to different states or whatever. But that's besides the point. I also think it's very unfortunate that there are people, obviously, with whoever dies that isn't in their length or their wavelength of beliefs, whatever you want to call it, doesn't, you know, we shouldn't lose our humanity or our, you know, decency to just be happy that this individual died. I think it's, you know, it's more telling of people that are celebrating his death. Whether you disagree with him, whether you think he is cancer to society, it is what it is. That is someone's brother, friend. I think he's a father. And yeah, let's not do that. I don't think that's the time and place to do this. But unfortunately, with the internet and with the algorithms and all that, there are people that are probably stuck in echo chambers that are celebrating this, that are very happy that this man has passed away. And I just don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that on just a humanitarian level. And it's very tragic that, well, if you're going to rile up a beehive of people that really are stuck in one direction of viewing society, well, that's going to incentivize just, it's actually more counterproductive than anything. If anything, it probably validates whatever points he was, you know, saying to his audience. And this is probably really bad because now, you know, it's just, and it's a back and forth. It's very tragic that we can't have, like, you know, as adults, we can't have these discussions on our culture, our society in the USA. And I think it shouldn't be like that. It should not be that, like, if you don't agree with the opposition, you should incentivize violence. I don't know if this guy had incentivized violence to the Democrats, the liberals, whatever. But, you know, his message is his message. I cannot speak for him. I cannot also speak for the people that consume his message. But I just don't think it sits right to just use this event to catapult his group of audience to perpetuate violence or to make it even with the counterculture towards his. And hopefully we don't see that. And yeah, no, it's very tragic. Of course, there's other stories that have happened as of lately. I think one case is Decarlos Brown Jr., who killed a Ukrainian immigrant on a train. Probably heard about it. It was on Twitter. There's also another black woman who passed away at the hands of an immigrant. And there are all these stories that just seem to be pushing more division than unity. And when you get that, and when you're stuck in that, you're obviously going to have a very skewed perception of reality or your reality. And obviously, you're going to want to hear stuff that aligns with your belief system. And that is very dangerous, especially now with social media, using the algorithm to just keep you engaged. And more so moving towards like a shock value just to get like reactions, because emotions do drive the comments. If you can go on the comments right now on X and see like what people are saying towards this dude's death, I think it's very, very, like, listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it's very toxic, and I think we shouldn't be in that wavelength. We should be a little bit better as a congregation of humans in this country. And hopefully, all this gets covered appropriately, and we can use this as like new parameters in order to do this. From just watching and unfortunately seeing the clip of this, I think there could have been some preventive measures, especially when you have this huge opposition and you have these people constantly wanting the death of you. I think they should probably have had a little bit more precaution on where they were doing it, how open it was. The shooter apparently was on top of a building from some clips I saw on Twitter. And it's kind of ridiculous that we have to get to this point where we need to like subjugate more people with more, I guess, like armed security, when they're just talking viewpoints that a bunch of people congregated at this campus to hear and debate in a healthy manner. At least I would hope so. And now we have to like really, really like plan to prevent this stuff. And it shouldn't be like this. We should have like a healthy discussion, and hopefully that this can be, I guess, a positive thing, and more people that do public speaking can consider this and not only take care of like their safety, but also like we also have to speak on like the mental health that is declining in the United States. I don't think we should get to the point where we're shooting the people that don't agree with us. We should be able to just like have a healthy discussion, and if we disagree, we disagree, and that's it. But violence is never the answer. It's not the answer. It probably could be, maybe, who knows, but this is just me, just as an outside spectator. I have no attachment to either political side. If anything, in my life, I kind of want to stay away from it, because I do know people close to me that are very like hoorah, like hardcore, like right wing, and then I also have people that are like very like left wing, and it's just like it gets to a point where we like get together and like we start talking about this, that like it's like a screaming contest of like, no, you're wrong, nah, like it's just like ridiculous. Like it's just funny for me to watch, because I think it's just kind of it's comedic to me in a sense, because like me, I'm kind of like in the middle. And it's just like people are just getting so emotional about these things that are going on in society, but yet they sit around and just fucking scroll on their phone, or like buy stupid things, spend money on Starbucks, buy like unnecessary Labubu's. And it's like, what, if you are for a cause, instead of just like scrolling, getting triggered, do something about it. Like, start to like, if you care about immigration, or if you care about like the tragedies in Gaza, like instead of like buying that Starbucks or coffee, find a foundation that you can donate to and give back, like really put your money where your mouth's worth, because how you get your money is literally just your essence as a person, your time, your labor. If you really care about a problem, instead of just like getting so bent out of shape because like someone said something ridiculous or whatever, Do something that aligns with that value. And this is a message more so to encourage people to, like, if you really do see a problem in society, we have representative. Call them. Go out there. Do, like, do something. Be more proactive instead of just being a complainer and just sitting there and mindlessly doom scrolling. And I think that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I see these people around me getting so bent out of shape over these people that are, like, online. You're watching these people through a screen, and it's just so it's a distress to see it. And I'm pretty sure some of you probably know a few people like this around you. And I think as a society, we should also, like, police each other. Like, if we are getting to, like, a skewed perception on certain topics, on certain messages, just talk to them, like, hey man, I think, like, yeah, I can see why you care, but, like, yo, you're, like, getting a little crazy right now, and we should really be able to just come together and just, more so we should just try to listen to each other and just, like, build communities again, instead of just building division. And it's very tragic, and hopefully, we can move forward past this without things escalating, and yeah, that's it. And thank you guys for listening, and hopefully you guys stay safe, and that's pretty much it. Toodles.